Hi, everyone. This is Stephen Edwards, your AI business guy, and welcome to another episode of Expert Advisors. Today, through the magic of AI, we will be bringing Dale Carnegie, one of my favorites, into the mix. We're going to have a panelist, and we're going to be tackling some business problems. And our panelists are going to be answering questions and having advice, but we're also going to bring Dale Carnegie in to bring his expert advice in as well. And it'll be Dale Carnegie's AI avatar that will be joining us. As we get started, I'm going to bring our guest in one by one, and they will introduce themselves. If you're out there on LinkedIn world, if you would also just drop your name and where you're viewing from, that would be fantastic as well. Also, if you notice at the bottom of the screen, if you have any questions or if you want to inquire about any of my products, including the freebies that I offer, just comment expert and I will get back to you on those things. So let's get going. My right-hand man, and actually he's going to be on our hot sheet today. I'm going to bring Michael Copeland to the stage.
Well, hello. I'm Michael Copeland with Stormio AI. It is an automation CRM system that basically is designed to help you and your business work more efficiently. So save time, energy, save yourself time, energy, and money system.
And I've been using Michael's product for a few years now and absolutely love it. His product is great, and he's an absolutely great person to work with as well. Next, I'm going to bring up our good friend, Rachel.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm Rachel Nash. I'm a board certified patient advocate, which means I help people navigate the healthcare system when it feels overwhelming, confusing, and broken. I step in when someone is facing a health crisis. Possibly they're getting the runaround from insurance. They're feeling unheard by their practitioners. And I make sure they get the care they deserve and understand, so they understand options and they don't have to face it alone.
Great. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate you being here. Next, my good friend, J.C. Smith. There she is.
Good morning.
Hi, J.C.
Hi. Something else picked up. I'm J.C. Smith with ProfitWise. And I don't know what's happening here. Anyway, is it letting me talk?
Yeah, you're good. We can see you and we can hear you.
I'm J.C. Smith with ProfitWise, and we work with businesses to bring profitable solutions to the table, especially in the health benefits space. So that's one of the things that we are finding that is a big broken problem in America right now is having affordable access to health care. And we do it in such a way that it wraps around whatever you're already doing. It just enhances it. So that's what we do.
Thank you, JC. Appreciate you being here. Next,
Thank
we're going to bring Rick on stage.
Hey, everyone. Rick Melville. I'm driving, similar to JC, right? But I run a mortgage team at a company called Atlanta. We offer concierge-level service as opposed to an institutional lender where, yeah, you close, but it's personal with us.
Thank you, Rick. We're having a little trouble hearing you. Just to make you aware of that. Is everybody having a little trouble with Rick hearing Rick?
Yeah, it was kind of cutting out a little.
Okay. Well, he will probably resolve this. Let's go to Nora.
Hi, I'm Nora Richardson. My company is Spot On Branding, and I call myself, or I've been called, actually, I didn't call myself, I've been called a entrepreneurial coach, a brand strategist, and a entrepreneurial therapist, which I thought was hilarious. And so basically what I do is I get to really know my clients, what they're doing, how they're doing, why they're doing it, and who their audience is, and position them and their brand to make them money.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Nora. Nora has done some excellent work for me. She's a good go-to person if you have any kind of branding questions whatsoever. Now,
totally
last but
agree.
not least, Mr. Steve Gatter.
Well, good morning, everybody. I am Steve Gatter, and I'm a business coach specifically to startups and freelancers. I truly believe that the most secure kind of lifestyle we can put in place is based upon our own superpowers. And freelance, happy to be here. Thank you, Steve.
I appreciate everyone being here. Again, anybody in our LinkedIn audience, you've met our panelists today. They may have some offers for you, and they will comment on this event space after the event. For those who are watching on LinkedIn, if you wouldn't mind, drop your own name and where you're viewing from, that would be fantastic. Just to let you know too, while we are using a product called StreamYard to simulcast this, while you may send comments to us from LinkedIn, we will be able to see your comments during the presentation. Though we can't make any comments outbound. So go ahead and drop your comments. We'll see them. I'll follow up with you later. Let's get started. We are doing Dale Carnegie, and amongst our panelists, who's had some experience with Dale Carnegie? JC, Nora, Mr. Gatter, and Michael Copeland as well.
A long time ago, very long time ago.
So this is Dale Carnegie wrote his books. His most famous book is How to Win Friends and Influence People, and it's kind of the Bible of self-help. At one point in time, it was the second most published book behind the Bible itself. And even though it was written in the 1930s, it's still very much relevant today. And if I had to pick a top 10 list of books to line my shelf with and be very much in depth with, that would be one of my books. I am a graduate from Dale Carnegie. I graduated the program a few times, and I've been a graduate assistant in this program many, many times. So it's one I hold very dearly in my heart. We're going to get started today. We're going to watch a book summary from How to Win Friends and Influence People, and we'll have a short discussion on the book after that. Just keep in mind, this is an AI. This is featuring AI, and all the components that you're going to see from the book summary was derived from AI, and I do teach that in my black belt training on how to compose something similar to what I'm going to be showing you today. So if you don't mind, let's get started. I'm going to share my screen.
I actually have this streaming out to my YouTube and Facebook as well. So
very good. Okay, we are going to go into watch mode, and I'm going to speed the delivery up just a bit. I think don't think that will cause any problems. If it's too fast, then please let me know.
This book is a classic and needs no introduction. There are 30 principles in the book laid out in 4 main sections, and we'll cover each with a quote from the book and a sentence or two of commentary. Let's get started. Section number 1, fundamental techniques in handling people. Principle number 1, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie says, criticism is futile because it puts a person on the defensive and usually makes them strive to justify themselves. Criticizing other people never works to get what you want, so stop doing it. Number 2, give honest and sincere appreciation. Carnegie says the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. Being appreciated is one of the core human needs that is rarely satisfied. Be generous in your appreciation for the people in your life, and they will love you for it. Just make sure it's sincere. Number 3, arouse in the other person an eager want. Carnegie says, first, arouse in the other person an eager want. He who can do this has the whole world with him. He who cannot walks a lonely way. The only person who is interested in what you want is you, and everybody else is only interested in what they want. So give people what they are interested in, not what you are interested in. It seems obvious, but most people don't practice it. Section number 2, 6 ways to make people like you. Principle number 1, become genuinely interested in other people. Carnegie says you can make more friends in 2 months by becoming genuinely interested in other people than you can in 2 years trying to get other people interested in you. Instead of spending so much time worrying about how to be interesting, focus more time on being interested. Number 2, smile. Carnegie says you must have a good time meeting people if you expect them to have a good time meeting you. A smile is worth its weight in gold. First, it puts you in a good mood. Go ahead and try to be miserable while you're smiling. Second, it tells the other person without saying a word that you like them and are genuinely happy to be in their presence. Number 3, remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Carnegie says the average person is more interested in his or her own name than in all the other names on earth put together. Using a person's name while you're in a conversation with them is the best way to make them feel important. Number 4, be a good listener. Encourage others to talk about themselves. Carnegie says, if you want to know how to make people shun you and laugh at you behind your back and even despise you, here is the recipe. Never listen to anyone for long. Talk incessantly about yourself. If you have an idea while the other person is talking, don't wait for him or her to finish. Bust right in and interrupt in the middle of a sentence. Instead of thinking about what you are going to say next in a conversation, slow yourself down and truly listen to the other person. Being a good listener is better than being a good talker. Number 5, talk in terms of the other person's interests. Carnegie says the royal road to a person's heart is to talk about the things he or she treasures most. Theodore Roosevelt was famous for staying up late the night before a guest was expected the following day, reading about whatever the guest was most interested in. That would allow him to talk with the other person about what interested them most. This is like a rapport superpower. Number 6, make the other person feel important and do it sincerely. Carnegie says, if we are so contemptibly selfish that we can't radiate a little happiness and pass on a bit of honest appreciation without trying to get something out of the other person in return, if our souls are no bigger than sour crab apples, we shall meet with the failure we so richly deserve. In short, we should go out of our way to do something that makes the other person feel important, and to do it happily without expecting anything in return. Section number 3, win people to your way of thinking. Principle 1, the only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Carnegie says, there is only one way under high heaven to get the best of an argument, and that is to avoid it. It's impossible to win an argument because even if we are the victor, the other person feels inferior, and that's a surefire way to make somebody reject your thinking. Number 2, show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, you're wrong. Carnegie says, I'm not revealing anything new in this chapter. 2,000 years ago, Jesus said, agree with thine adversary quickly. Nobody likes to be told they're wrong. They do, however, like to be understood. Always show that you understand the other person's opinion, even if you don't agree with it. Number 3, if you're wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Carnegie says, any fool can try to defend his or her mistakes, and most fools do. But it raises one above the herd and gives one a feeling of nobility and exaltation to admit one's mistakes. If you know you're wrong about something, make sure you admit it before somebody else has to point it out to you. Number 4, begin in a friendly way. Carnegie says, a drop of honey catches more flies than a gallon of gall. Getting angry or shouting to get your point across is never a good strategy. Approaching a disagreement in a friendly manner will always generate more results than direct conflict. Number 5, get the other person saying yes, yes, immediately. Carnegie says, Socrates kept on asking questions until finally, almost without realizing it, his opponents found themselves embracing a conclusion they would have bitterly denied a few minutes previously. When you're trying to persuade, always start by focusing on the areas where you have agreement. The more you can get the other person into a yes state of mind, the more likely you are to get them to agree to other things later. Number 6, let the other person do a great deal of the talking. Carnegie says, if you disagree with them, you may be tempted to interrupt, but don't. Listen patiently with an open mind, be sincere about it. Encourage them to express their ideas fully. The person in control of a conversation is the person asking the questions. Guide people to your point of view with questions, not arguments. Number 7, let the other person feel that the idea is his or hers. Carnegie says, don't you have much more faith in ideas that you discover for yourself than ideas that are handed to you on a silver platter? Nobody wants to be told what to do. However, they do like to act on their own ideas. So find a way to help them feel like they came up with it on their own. Number 8, try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Carnegie says, there is a reason why the other man thinks and acts as he does. Ferret out that reason, and you have the key to his actions, perhaps to his personality. Only when you understand the reasons for other people's actions can you truly start to convince them to change. Number 9, be sympathetic with the other person's ideas and desires. Carnegie says, wouldn't you like to have a magic phrase that will stop arguments, eliminate ill feeling, create goodwill, and make the other person listen attentively? Here it is. I don't blame you one iota for feeling as you do. If I were you, I would undoubtedly feel just as you do. We all want to feel like we are understood. Number 10, appeal to the nobler motives. Carnegie says, J. Pierpont Morgan observed in one of his analytical interludes that a person usually has 2 reasons for doing a thing, one that sounds good and a real one. People want to fulfill their obligations. When you appeal to people's nobler motives, specifically that they are honest and have integrity, they are more likely to act that way. Number 11, dramatize your ideas. Carnegie says, I was presenting the same facts this time that I had presented previously, but this time I was using dramatization, showmanship, and what a difference it made. The more passion and showmanship you put into selling your ideas, the more effective you will become. Number 12, throw down a challenge. Carnegie says, they desire to excel, the challenge, throwing down the gauntlet, an infallible way of appealing to people of spirit. Every successful person loves the game. Give them one to play. Section number 4, be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. Principle number 1, begin with praise and honest appreciation. Carnegie says, beginning with praise is like the dentist who begins his work with Novocaine. The patient still gets a drilling, but the Novocaine kills the pain. People you talk to will always be more open to criticism if you first let them know what you appreciate about them. Number 2, call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Carnegie says, calling attention to one's mistakes indirectly works wonders with sensitive people who may resent bitterly any direct criticism. A great way to do this is to replace the word but with the word and. For instance, instead of saying, we're really proud of you, Billy, for getting better grades this semester, but if you'd worked harder in your math class, you would have done even better. Instead of that, you could say, we're really proud of you, Billy, for getting better grades this semester, and if you continue your efforts next semester, your math grade can be up with all the others. Number 3, talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Carnegie says, admitting one's own mistakes, even when one hasn't corrected them, can help convince somebody to change his behavior. Nobody is perfect. The other person will be more likely to listen to you if you make it clear that you aren't perfect either. Number 4, ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Carnegie says people are more likely to accept an order if they have had a part in the decision that caused the order to be issued. Instead of saying, you did this wrong and here's what you need to do better next time, ask, what do you think you could do better next time? Number 5, let the other person save face. Carnegie says, even if we are right and the other person is definitely wrong, we only destroy ego by causing someone to lose face. If you can find a way to let somebody save face, just do it. Number 6, praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Be hearty in your approbation and lavish in your praise. Carnegie says, this great contemporary psychologist, he was referring to B.F. Skinner, has shown by experiments with animals and humans that when criticism is minimized and praise emphasized, the good things people do will be reinforced and the poorer things will atrophy for lack of attention. It has been proven throughout time that what you focus on becomes your reality. So if you want more of one type of behavior, praise it. Number 7, give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. Carnegie says, if you want to improve a person in a certain aspect, act as though that particular trait were already one of his or her outstanding characteristics. Stephen Covey has a fantastic quote that I think sums up this principle well. Leadership is communicating to people their worth and potential so clearly that they come to see it in themselves. Number 8, use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. Carnegie says, be liberal with your encouragement, make the thing seem easy to do, let the other person know that you have faith in his ability to do it, that he has an undeveloped flair for it, and he will practice until the dawn comes in the window in order to excel. This principle needs no further explanation. And number 9, make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. The final key to being a leader and changing people without arousing resentment is to make the person happy about doing what we want them to do. There are 6 steps to doing this well. Number 1, be sincere. Don't promise anything you can't deliver. Number 2, know exactly what you want the other person to do. Number 3, be empathetic. Ask yourself what the other person really wants. Number 4, consider the benefits the other person will receive from doing what you suggest. Number 5, match the benefits to the other person's wants. And number 6, convey your request so the other person understands how they will benefit. So there you have it. 30 principles you can use to win friends and influence people.
All right. Thoughts? Mr. Gatter, did you open the book up? Are you taking a peek at it now? I got one.
Well,
I got a copy on my shelf as well.
Recently I gave away most all of my business books because I knew I'd never go read them again. So
Uh-huh.
how come
I think that was a good choice. Keep that one.
Yeah.
So what do you think of the principles? Agree, disagree? Any that you like more than others from that list?
Wow.
I mean, man, there's a lot. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm nervous about being on the hot seat, right? Because I'm going to be so many things, and this is just one book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, somebody said that
You're
all
muted, Rachel.
of the business improvement books are all based on this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I would believe that. And it's, again, it was written it's almost 100 years old now, and it's still very much relevant today as it was then.
Well, I do smile a lot, and that's one of the things that I find is very disarming for people is smiling. It's worked for me all my life. People just approach me all the time because I just smile. Even when I'm in my car, I have my top down in my Miata, and people are constantly talking to me in my car while I'm driving because I'm smiling because I love to drive my car. So it's really awesome. I think smiling is probably one of the most important ones, at least in the beginning.
I
Yeah,
think
it's one that
replacing that but with an and is also amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Rachel,
a big one. Rachel, you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, you're muted, Rachel. You are too, Rick, in case you didn't know that. Okay. Yeah, I like the smile one because
you, Rachel. You
You're
have to
still muted,
unmute
Rachel.
yourself. I can't unmute her. She muted herself. I can't unmute it.
That's
Right.
why. Okay.
There.
I'm here,
Yeah.
but I was amazing. And I was the one that wasn't familiar with, I'm familiar with him, but I've never really paid attention to his work. Unbelievable. I agreed with everyone but one. And that's just because I was a child of the system. I was part of, the system in many ways. So when my name was called, it was not good. So my name, I always thought I was in trouble when someone said Rachel. But today people call me Rachel Nash, which is interesting. They don't, that was really good, Steve. That was interesting. From a business standpoint, I'm trying to learn all of that. But as a patient advocate, I think I do practice. And I thought about today how a big divider in this world is politics. Not to talk about politics because I'm not going to, but I hate that. So I talk to people and I understand their perspective, no matter what side they're on, because I feel like we all want the same thing. And I don't want that to ever be a divider with me, because compassion to me politics doesn't matter. So, but that was really neat, Steve. Wow, fascinated. I've got to go back and read.
I don't know if I would use the word, using that one phrase. I don't know if I would use the word iota.
I was going to say that I'm going to do a campaign. I think that's an underutilized word. I'm going to bring that word back into our vocabulary.
Well, I mean, it's.
And if you don't like it, I don't give an iota about it.
Steve, can you read it for me what that is? Because my gosh, what is that? Read it for me, that app.
Yeah. And I can give you a free subscription to Read It For Me. Read It For Me actually was the company I work with, Simple. That was their very first product. That's how I got involved with Simple. Was they had a product called Read It For Me, where they put together the best known business book and summarize those, and it's kind of clip notes for business books. But the interesting thing about that and why they got into the AI space is that Steve Cunningham, the founder, CEO, wasn't real happy with his bank account and what Read It For Me was doing for him. And he went out exploring an AI because he'd heard some things about AI. His first attempts was failures and he wasn't really impressed with it, but he kept at it. And he created another training program, sold it very quickly, made a lot of money on it, and realized that AI might be the answer for him, and asked the people who were already subscribing to his Read It For Me product if they would like to go on the journey with him. He quickly realized, at first he realized that this is fantastic. All the things that I was doing manually, I can now do very quickly with AI. But the next thing he realized is that, and because of that, I don't no longer have a business, because if I can do it so quickly, anybody can do this with AI. That's when he realized I've got to do something different going forward.
And that's amazing for people that are dyslexic and for individuals that have reading disabilities. And they're not readers, not because they're not able, but they struggle in those, with that part of their brain, and they miss out on such good material. So
Yeah.
I love this.
Yeah.
The real challenge facing us readers is, which book am I going to read next? Because I start reading this one, that means I can't be reading that one.
Yeah. Well, Read It For Me came together. The whole purpose in Read It For Me was the belief that you needed to go from content to strategy and execution as quickly as possible. So the whole belief was, once you've read enough of a book to get to take action, stop reading, go take action. And so that's the whole concept behind Read It For Me.
I love it. Love it. Thank you for sharing that. And I see Nora smiling like the whole time.
Yeah,
I want to get to know her now. I want to get to know Nora because of the smile. So let's do coffee.
It makes me wonder what she's up to. Is what.
And Steve, that is a valid issue with Nora. What is she up to with that smile?
What is she up to? Yeah. she knows something the rest of us don't.
Where's my wallet? Where's my wallet?
Where's my wallet?
Is there any of those concepts you think anyone is particularly good at right now that you are doing and you are practicing, and it does provide some benefits for you?
So one of the things that I do is people ask me to review their website. My website's not getting, I get a bunch of traffic there, but I'm not getting any, nobody's signing up or nobody's buying or anything like that. So then I do a critique, and I'm relatively I'm blunt and upfront, and okay, well, this red button that's jumping here, you need to change that and everything. But just going through this little thing, I'm like, maybe I should start with, wow, your website looks great. We just need to make a few changes. The bucket is leaking you're going out here. There's all these leaks in this bucket, because I just did one yesterday, and I always give a disclaimer of like, if constructive criticism is you take it personal, then I'm not for you. But I should probably just maybe include some of the other things and still keep it blunt. I guess I'm gonna work on that the next few that I do.
Yeah, the summary mentioned that's your Novocaine. You're still going to get a drilling, but it kills the pain if you start out with something positive.
Yeah.
Nora, do you want to add something? Nora?
Oh, I was just saying that is something that I've learned in my practice, is that is a very good thing to say, here is the good, and then, but if it was all good, you wouldn't be here with me. So I'm here to tell you the things that are that can be worked on and improved so that you can get the results you wanted. So those are the things that, yeah, you can be very blunt after you frame it in the practice of, here are the great things. I love what you're doing. I love your message. I love all the stuff.
And not but
You're
and.
here. And you're here. So let's look at why you're here. And here
Yeah.
are the things, right?
Absolutely. Well, do we have any final thoughts on the book? Otherwise, we will move over into the AI portion.
No, but thank you. I think this one, I've enjoyed them all, but I think this one's my favorite.
Sure. Reach out to me afterwards. I'll be glad to. It's now one of their. Actually, they don't even support the product any longer, but I still can grandfather you in if you're interested in getting the entire library.
Amazing.
So.
Yeah.
All right, Michael, you ready?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Let's do this. Let me change it to share again. Yes. Let's tell everybody what we're going to do now. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to be doing this with Michael, but we all should be paying attention because there's probably something in our life right now, our business life in particular, that we may be struggling with and we may be looking for an answer. So I want your radars to be on, and as we go through this, you may find an answer or a solution to something you may be struggling with currently. And specifically, we're going to see if we can solve some issues for Michael. And I know he's got a lot of issues, so we'll see what we can do. So we're going to do this. If you look at this diagram, we are together here as a panel. Pam is my AI mentor. I refer to my chat bot, anything that has to do with AI. I refer to her as Pam, so that who is Pam. We're going to be using today Chat GPT to do that. And through the magic of AI, we're going to actually bring Dale Carnegie into the mix as well. We're going to focus on a problem to be solved. Michael's going to give us some context and data. And the framework we're going to be working through is Dale Carnegie and all of his body of work. But I think what will come up most often is his How to Win Friends and Influence People. I think that's probably where we're going to tap in the most. That's my prediction. We'll see what happens. All right, hang on one second. So for those who don't know, I am in Chat GPT. This is what we're doing now. This is a custom GPT that was created. It is, again, something that I train you to do if you were to take black belt training, that you can create these just custom GPTs on the fly. And we're just going to get going and you kind of get a feel for how they work. You ready, Michael?
I am ready.
All right, let's tell Pam, Pam is going to be our medium between us in the real world and Dale Carnegie, wherever he may be at this point in time. Okay, let's get started.
All right, Pam, be nice.
So Pam is going to help you apply the tireless wisdom of Dale Carnegie. But here's what we're going to do. She's going to ask a question right now, but before we answer that very first question, I am going to tell her, hello, Pam. We're working. Michael.
See, I can't talk and type at the same time either. So.
Yeah, me neither.
Unless I type exactly what I'm exactly typing. You know, every time I do one of these, I'm like, maybe I should update my profile, my LinkedIn profile.
Yes, I have thought the same. For myself, not for you. For myself.
Yeah, we were all thinking this, Michael.
Maybe or both.
That
want
was
to talk to you about your profile. I just want to talk to you about your LinkedIn profile for a moment. And
Yeah, it looks great, and we can make these changes.
That's right.
All right, so here's what I'm doing. And for those, everybody in this panel today, they've done this panel with me before, so they kind of know where I'm coming from. But for those of you out there who may be watching on LinkedIn, the idea with AI, again, we're using ChatGPT, but it works with any platform you choose to use. The better the context is on the front end, the better the answers are going to be. So if we're very vague, we're going to get very vague and general responses, but that's not who we want. We want to tell AI, or Pam in this case, as much as we can about her. We don't have time today to go through Michael's entire life, but what we can do is load it up with his LinkedIn profile, and then Pam's able to absorb some of that information from his profile and start connecting some of the dots. So that's what we're going to do now. So I'm just going to add it as an attachment.
And we actually have a comment or a question from
All right.
LinkedIn. And
Okay, great.
let me throw it on the screen here. Beatrice asks, does voice mode not work with a custom GPT?
It does work. It does
Yeah.
work as well.
It may not work. You may not see it here because we're using our microphones to be on the stream. So you may not see it here.
Yeah, that is very true. That's very true. You
But I
also
use
see
it all
behind.
the time personally.
Yeah. I also use Grammarly, and Grammarly is an AI product as well. So I put in here's what I put into the chat, but Grammarly is making some suggestions on how I can improve my dialogue. So I'm just going to say, yeah, let's improve it. One thing that I have learned as well recently, and I've started doing this, is if I'm a little confused on how to create a prompt, what I will do is ask Pam to create, this is what I'm trying to do. Please create the perfect prompt to do that, and then run the prompt. And that has helped me. It's taught me a great deal, and it's cleaned up my actions along the way. So just a little tidbit if you might want to try that at home, okay? All right, here, we're going to get started here.
Hi, Beatrice. She's my friend.
Yeah,
Okay.
she just said thank you and said hi, Nora.
I know. I saw her when she pulled up, and I was like, "Oh, there's Beatrice. I gotta say hi," but she beat me to it. Anyway.
It has misinterpreted what I want. Quite often. Yes. So it's asking me, it thinks that I want to do something with you, Michael, but that's not what I want. So we're just going to get Pam back on track, okay? Yes. We don't want to apply it to Michael. We want to apply it as if he was the one doing the exercise. So, Michael, I am your coach, applying the timeless wisdom of Dale Carnegie. How this is going to work. Pam is going to try to get comfort and clarity around what you're trying to do. So she's just going to ask you a short series of clarifying questions. So, Michael, what's your biggest obstacle right now? You can choose A, B, and C, or go off the board and pick something entirely different.
Let's see. So one of the things is I mean, as some of you guys know, because some of you guys use Stormio, is people that come into Stormio, I do it all. It's all custom. Like I build your system the way you operate. I don't make you fit into a box. I make the box for you the way you operate, and I just make it better for you. I make you more efficient basically with the system. But I'm going to launch Stormio to more to the masses instead of doing it all custom. So that's kind of the hard part that I have right now. So I'm thinking maybe B,
B.
team or a project, because that's technically launching a project. I look at it as the same.
Are you? It says you're leading a team. Are you actually going to get others to help you, or are you leading yourself?
Well, both actually.
Okay.
I mean, because
Okay.
I can't do it all myself, but
Okay.
yeah, leading a team or a project. Yeah,
Okay.
I need. Let's go.
So
Let's run with it and let's see.
Okay.
Or
So if you
unless
want
we
to
do
choose,
D and say,
D requires me to type.
you could use the audio. I see the audio button right there.
Well, yeah. I don't think it'll work in our
But
current
let's
mode.
let's go with B.
Let's go with
Because
B.
regardless, even though I have AI on my side to do a lot of things, including I have AI answer my phone now, I still need. I'm going to need humans to do stuff, not just leading an AI team.
Okay. All right. We're going to go with B. Pam, Michael has chosen B. So this challenge, leading a team or project and struggling to keep everyone aligned. Yes, that is true. What's the most frustrating part of the misalignment?
Ooh. I mean, the thing that that pops out to me is B. I mean,
B?
right now I'm wearing like, let's just say 17 hats out of 20, and so the other part of that is I'm doing a little bit of a lot of things, and when there's confusion and like prioritizing certain things, like whether I'm wearing the hat or somebody else is wearing the hat, there needs to be roles, expectations, priorities, even if I'm the one in that position.
Got it. So Pam, Michael is choosing B from that list.
Yep.
And let's keep asking questions until she feels comfortable. She may be able to help you. Okay. Where does Michael feel the misalignment most?
Let's see. Well, team members work on the wrong things. I don't necessarily think it's necessarily the wrong thing. Again, because there's so many things, but prioritizing the thing.
Right. The wrong thing being it's the right thing, but the wrong time, maybe.
Yeah. So in a way, it's kind of, I guess it's kind of B and C.
Okay. We can say that. Actually, let's say a combination B and C. That work for you, Michael?
Yeah. Put that in a cup and mix it
All right.
up.
All right. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. That tells us a lot. Starting to understand
Perfect.
now.
See, Pam is already using Dale Carnegie right here. You're doing great answer.
Yeah. Great choice, Michael. All right. So you keep asking questions, so let's keep giving her some answers.
Let's see. Group meetings.
Can everybody see the words and stuff? Because I can't. I'm on this little itty bitty phone, so I don't. Can you read some of the stuff?
Okay, so
I feel like I'm a part of this.
Yeah. So, what's Michael's current leadership style when trying to fix the misalignment? So A, he tries to clarify things in group meetings. B, he handles misalignment one-on-one behind the scenes. C, he sends updates or documentation to get everyone on the same page. D, he hasn't found a good approach yet. Which one sounds like what Michael's doing now? Well, maybe I think it might be D.
D. All
Come
right,
on,
you want to
tell
run
me
with
what
that?
my approach should be. I mean,
Okay.
if I actually had a team, I would pretty much do one-on-one behind the scenes. Like I don't want to call anybody out in front of everybody because
Okay.
that's not cool. But or at least I wouldn't want that to happen to me, right? So I don't want to do that to somebody else.
Okay.
But so yeah, I would say I haven't found a good approach yet.
Okay, let's run with that. Pam, Michael has chosen D. You know things are off, people are executing in different directions and making conflicting decisions. But he hasn't yet nailed a method to bring everyone into sync. Is that close enough to the truth?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
All right, before we let Dale take a crack at this, does our panel have any advice for Michael?
Yes, lay it on me.
Well, who's going to be in this group, Michael?
So, I mean, right now it's me, but in order for me to facilitate the growth of adding a bunch of users, like I'm going to do onboarding, but it's very hard for me to like delegate, I guess I should say. So,
but are we onboarding employees or contractors?
So I would be onboarding users of Stormio AI. And so they all need a little bit of build out, and then a little bit of training. And then, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to do all of that stuff.
So these are clients we're onboarding.
Clients we're onboarding, but then team to actually facilitate some of the work. So I'm onboarding clients they're buying Stormio AI, and I like to do a little bit of customization for people. Even at the lowest level, I customize a little bit of stuff, but it's just not going to be full on customization. And then train them how to use the system. And then, so when it comes to training, like onboarding those people, do I have to do that, or can I have somebody else do that? Doing the build out, do I have to do that, or does somebody else have to do that? If I have other people doing some of these other things, then that's where I need a team if I'm going to scale, basically.
So what do you enjoy doing out of the things that you just listed?
You want to know what? I love building the stuff.
Well, then hire everybody else to do all the other things, and you do the stuff.
Like I like doing the customization. I like, when you're on social media and you're like, hey, just comment awesome down below and I'll send you this cool thing. Okay, that sounds great when you're the Stormio user doing that, but how do you make that automation happen? That's what I like to build. I like to build all those automations and stuff.
Well, it sounds like you are really the doer, and that's the reason why you're struggling with the process of how to actually onboard. In my personal opinion, that's what it sounds like to me. It's like you are the person that likes to get into the nitty-gritty details of all the things, making the customer happy, saying whoop, ta-da, and they go, wow. You like that kind of thing, and to be the person that actually did those things. But the onboarding, it sounds like, whether it's team or not, or client, the process doesn't seem to be nearly as exciting, and you should actually find somebody who thinks that's exciting. and fabulous and believes in what you're doing and how you're doing it.
Can I
I
ask
don't
a
know.
question,
What do you
Nora?
guys think?
Nora, that
Yes.
is like, I feel like you're speaking to me too. What do you do if you're a new startup and you don't have the ability and you can't, I mean, I'm sorry, it's about Michael.
No,
But
that's
I
fine.
feel like you're speaking to me, I mean, too. I mean, it's the process.
Yeah. So basically, when you're a startup, and Steve Gatter can talk more about this, but when you're a startup, you've got to wear all the hats and you have to know all the different things of your business so that you can actually know what you like and love and all the things. And when you can move into hiring people, you'll know exactly what they need to do, how they need to do it, kind of thing, to dovetail into what you want to do and how you want to operate, and then have them mimic what you're doing in the beginning, and then they can actually come up with the process that suits them and you and your company so that you get what you want. But in the beginning with a startup, you have to actually do all the things, right? You just have to. It's a grin and bear it kind of thing, but it's probably the best thing to understand all the different elements in the beginning, but offload the things that you dislike most first when you have the money to buy to actually hire people. I don't know,
Thank
Steve,
you.
what do you think?
Thank you for putting it that way. That was very clear.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
And I'm gonna challenge you, everyone too, because it seems like we're thinking in terms of, things to offload to other people. But we have this thing called AI now. You should only delegate to other people when you've completely exhausted AI as a resource as well. And that should be the time that you consider delegating to other people.
That
is very true.
Yeah,
there's a lot of, I mean, I could have, I mean, now, so I always think in terms of automation and workflows and systems. So when you just said that, I'm like, well, actually I could build an AI onboarding thing that asks all the questions, and whether it's in text, they're texting back and forth, or audio, like just having a conversation, like I could have that, and then if there needs to be follow-up questions, I could do that, or a human can do that kind of a thing.
But you also have to understand,
I love this.
But you also have to understand who your clientele is, and do they want to talk to a bot as well? So that would be another consideration. And that I imagine that in 5-10 years, people are going to be okie doke with it, but that as this is introduced, you may have to actually put a little bit more human element into it. I don't know if I just went out. Did I go out?
Let me suggest this, Michael. I think what you're talking about is a user's manual. And why not have AI create that so that your clients have a choice between utilizing the manual and or talking to you directly if and when necessary.
That is a good idea, because when it comes to Stormio, there's like over 500 features, right? So I don't even give a few of the people that are on this panel, they have full access, but I don't give anybody else full access, especially the automations piece. I really don't give a lot of people access to automations, because that's 80 to 90% of all the customer support issues is all in the automation piece. But I do have open office. I do have open office hours every Friday now. And because I like solving those problems. But actually, saying that, Steve, I am working on that. actually. So
And Michael, consider this.
more.
Consider this. And I brought this up with you, I think, earlier last week. AI pretty much knows every software and every platform that's in existence. Just myself last week, I was trying to create an email template and campaign in Stormio, and I did not have enough experience. I hadn't done that, and that's where I may have in the past come to you to get some guidance on how to do that. Instead, I just asked Pam. Pam, here's what I'm trying to do. Here's the platform I'm working with it. Take me through step by step, build a tutorial for me personally to do this. And she built it. We went through it together step by step. I shared my screen with her. She said, do this. I did that. I did a screenshot. I shared it with her. Hey, Pam, did I do what you asked me to do? Did I get it right? Yes, you got it right. Let's move on to the next step. And I was able to do it completely on my own. And I didn't
Wow.
have to bother you to do it.
That's awesome.
Wow.
My
Yeah.
wife does the same thing with QuickBooks. I mean,
Yeah.
she's a QuickBooks coach, and when she's trying to figure something out and she gets an error message from QBO, she will copy the error message, put it into AI, and say, "What the hell does this mean? And what do I do about it?"
Exactly. So just start. One of my purposes in doing these expert advisors is to open your eyes up to other ways you could be using AI that you may not have thought about before. So hopefully I've given some good ideas, and hopefully I can continue to
Yeah.
give some.
You know, and
Yeah.
and here's the thing, like I have Stormio AI, and this is so valuable, just the panel, and then also what Pam is doing right here, this playbook
Yeah.
that we're about to see.
Well, we're getting a little short on time. Should we, since we invited Dale to this meeting, should we bring him in and see what he has to say?
Yeah, let's see.
All right, let's see what Dale has to say. All right, solution one, and we'll read over the solutions at the high level, and then we'll dive into any of these that you might want to, Michael. Solution one, talk in terms of other people's interests. You're breaking it down in what I would do and why I would do it. We'll come back to these again. Solution two, throw down a challenge, what I would do, why I would do it. Solution three, let the other person save face, what I would do, why I would do it. Dramatize your ideas, arouse in the other person an eager want. So, Michael, let's dive. We've only got time today to dive deeper into one of these thoughts. Is there one you'd like to zero in on?
Well, I can tell you. I'm thinking a challenge.
Oh, no, let's see. What was up here? Was it?
I think it was like 2 or 3 or something like that.
Throw down a challenge.
Let's see.
One?
Reframe alignment. See, I think in terms of marketing too, because the most successful marketing piece has been a challenge to people join the challenge. Oh man, that's actually
Here's the explanation.
wow. That's
why.
that just kind of like made this little explosion in my brain right there. So one of the things that I did before is we did a challenge. It was the first we did a 2-week challenge. Basically, people would pay to do a 2-week challenge. Technically, the challenge was onboarding them in the system. Like they built it out themselves. We showed them step by step in a group setting. And then we ended up loading their database so they could start texting them and all that stuff. We did that all within 14 days. And then after that, people just kept paying the monthly. And so anyway, I gotta write that down.
Is this the one you want to run with?
No.
No. Okay.
Go back up to the top one. Let's see. Talk in terms of other people's interests. Nope, not that one.
Okay. Because you don't give one iota what they think, correct?
Nope, no iotas
Okay.
from me.
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's go down to the next one. Let's see what that one is.
And for today, we're just going to pick one, but understand that if you were number 4 to dramatize your ideas.
I am that way, and maybe I've gotten too far away from the vision, and because I'm so close to the work, working in the business versus on the business.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is I tell people all the time, you got to work on your business. Doing all this stuff is going to save all this time. Then you can work on your business instead of in your business. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So we're going to choose this one. So I'm just going to copy it. And I think this is a question Pam is asking. Which one? Okay, we're going to run Michael. Pam or Michael likes this solution best. Could you tell Dale and see what Dale has to say about this?
And I know we're at the top of the hour, so we need to start winding down.
Yep, let's see how far we can get, and we'll wrap things up in about 8 minutes. Okay. So it's giving you, all right. He's going to turn this into a playbook.
Look at that, an excellent choice.
Excellent choice, Mr. Copeland. Now, but before it gives it to it, because this is very important, we did this, I think, with Nora, that it became very important when a lot of times we say, well, let's get to action, but we don't consider the time frame of what we want when we want things to work out. So that's what Pam is asking now. When do you want this to work by?
Yeah, and I do remember that one with Nora, where Nora's like, you know what? I only have, I'm only going to work on this like 1 hour a day for 5 days, so 5 hours a week. And, if you don't tell AI how the time, they're going to just assume it's all the time.
Yeah.
So, I think I would want it to unfold over 1 month.
Okay.
And let me figure out the time. Let's just say 10 hours a week. Because this is something that I, by the end of this month, I want to bring in maybe some beta, do a beta test on all this.
So it's D, and we're going to work 10 hours a week on this. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell Pam to tell Dell?
No. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Again, those watching on LinkedIn, it's very important to give as much context as possible. So, like Michael said, if we didn't define the time frame and how much time we're going to work on this, she has no choice but to assume you're going to be working on it 24/7, right? So that's not the case. So we need to let her know that. Okay.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I found that out the hard way because I did one of these when I was launching a product, and I'm like, this is great. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then at day 2 or 3, I'm like, I can't keep up with all this stuff.
Nora's phone overheated. She had to put it in the freezer.
Okay.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, I forgot she was on her phone because her computer couldn't hit the Wi-Fi for some reason.
Their Wi-Fi's been crazy at their house, very sketchy. And They both work from home, which is a problem.
Just like Nora, very sketchy.
Very sketchy, very sketchy.
I'm slowly scrolling through these so that you can take them on.
Yeah, very interesting.
I like, here's where we are on the map. I think that's a great visualization. It's kind of like
Even when
building
I
a
work
jig-
with my clients, just in general, right? This is a good way to also catch up with them. Like, okay, here's this big project we're working on. Here's where we are on the map. I think this is I think this is great.
Yeah, I look at it as kind of a jigsaw puzzle. None of us can really do a jigsaw puzzle. We have to visualize what the final product is going to look like. If we just give us a bunch of pieces with no visualization as to what the final product looks like, we're clueless. We don't know where to go.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
think,
can you imagine like a 10,000 piece jigsaw puzzle without an image on it to follow?
With no image. Yeah.
I guess you would know this. You would know the edges.
Yeah.
But then what's next?
Yeah.
So I guess that's kind of where I've been. I know the edges, but what goes in the middle?
So as we are running out of time, so we're going to wrap this up for now. There's plenty more to do, and Michael, we can take this offline. I'll be glad to finish this up with you.
Perfect.
But does anybody have any questions, feedback? And for those of you out there on LinkedIn, I do offer this as a service. I do a coaching session for Dale Carnegie or for any of the 100+ experts that I already have in my inventory. Or if there's somebody I don't have in my inventory that you would like to run a session with, I know how to do that. I can create a tool to do just that. And actually, Rachel has asked me to do that very thing with somebody that she idolizes as far as content is concerned. So I'd be glad to do that.
I know the
any
Brene
questions?
Brown one was also amazing. Like every single time that we do one of these expert advisors, it's always mind blowing. It's always like, wow, it's pretty amazing. So I'm thank you for letting me be in the hot seat this time. Like,
Sure. Well, we haven't let Pam have a speaking part yet. So as we are closing out, let's just have her speak to us on this one. Okay. That'd be all right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Perfect. We're building a 1-month plan for Michael Copeland to align his team using Dale Carnegie's principle. Dramatize your ideas. Turn your message into a compelling, visual, emotionally engaging experience. You've got 10 hours per week to focus on this, ideal for a powerful, focused rollout. Mike Copeland's 4-week playbook. Objective: align the team around clear priorities and roles through visual storytelling and dramatized messaging. Week 1, discover and design 10. Goal: understand the misalignment and design a powerful dramatized message. Interview or survey key team members, one-on-one or via form. Ask, what do you believe are the top 3 priorities right now? Ask, what's your role in hitting our goals? Note any conflicting or unclear responses. Map the current confusion. Create a quick doc, where we're clear versus where we're fuzzy. Use this to shape your message later. Craft a vivid North Star narrative. Define, what's the vision, the win, the enemy, confusion, and the heroic journey? Example, imagine it's 90 days from now. We hit our targets, we're synced, no duplicate efforts, and we know exactly how we got there. That's what this playbook is about. Sketch the visual. Could be a storyboard, mind map, 1-page game plan, or flowchart. Focus on roles, responsibilities, and how they connect to the big win. Tools: Canva, Miro, FigJam, Lucidchart, whatever fits your style. Week 2, prototype and test 10 Goal: test the dramatized message on a small group and refine. Create a first draft presentation or playbook doc. It should be brief, visual, and emotionally engaging. Include scenarios or stories. Here's what it looks like when we're aligned and when we're not. Pilot it with 2 to 3 trusted team members. Say, I want your honest take. Does this cut through the noise? Watch for confusion or emotional reactions. That's your signal. Refine based on feedback. Did they light up? Did anything fall flat? Adjust tone, visuals, or clarity accordingly. Week 3, launch and anchor. Goal, deliver the message to the full team and make it stick. Present your dramatized message in a full team session. Use visuals, stories, energy. Make it an experience, not a meeting. Frame it like a reset moment. Let's get dangerous clear. Here's our mission. Here's your role. Here's what success feels like. Anchor it with a leave behind.
I like
Create
that.
a team visible
clear.
artifact, a printed one-pager on desks, a Slack pinned playbook, a dashboard or shared doc, even a poster if you want to go big. Invite feedback and listen. Ask what's missing, what feels most helpful. This keeps it co-created and sticky. Week 4, reinforce and normalize. Goal, make alignment part of the culture. Use micro dramatizations in weekly check-ins. Start each meeting with, here's where we are on the map. Here's this week's battle. Here's the win we're chasing together. Celebrate aligned behavior publicly. Call out moments where someone demonstrated clarity, ownership, or cross-role collaboration. Use dramatized language. That's exactly how elite teams operate. Adapt the dramatization as needed. Update the visuals if the project evolves. Keep it fresh and always anchored to the why. Chapter bonus, weekly time budget, 10 of Hathaway task type, approx, time per week, listening, interviews, surveys, 2 hours, crafting, writing, visual design, delivery, presenting, facilitating, 3 hours, review and feedback loops. Would you like me to turn this into a printable action sheet or something you can plug into a calendar or Notion board?
I'm going to say no. We'll stop here for now and come back to this later.
Yeah.
And Pam should tell me that's an excellent choice.
Love all
See,
that.
that she did. Perfect.
Not just an excellent choice, a perfect choice.
Yeah, yeah. Man, if I need an ego boost, I always talk to Pam. All right, so we're going to bring this to a close. I hope you got something out of this. Anybody out there in LinkedIn, again, drop a comment, expert, and I'll get back to you, and maybe we can work together, or at the very least, I got some freebies to offer you. Anybody from our panel have any last things to say?
Michael, I would
Thank you,
be willing to be on your panel that's you present to this over this next 4 weeks.
Okay.
As you do each week, I would be willing to do the feedback.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
That would be great, actually. You know, I'm in a mastermind group on about Napoleon Hill. So, and I totally believe in collaboration and a mastermind. So the more people that, you know, because I think one way, but somebody else might come out, you know, in a different way. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
As we learned,
it on the calendar. If it ain't on the calendar, it isn't going to happen for me.
Same.
And as we learned today, if you're collaborating, don't forget to use AI in that collaboration.
Yeah.
So we do these every first and third Mondays of the month. So 2 weeks from today, we will be doing another one. Our featured expert advisor is going to be Daymond John. And for those of you who are familiar with Shark Tank, Daymond John is a regular on Shark Tank. So that's who we'll be featuring then. I hope to see each and every one of you. I'm going to sign off for now. And hopefully I'll see you in 2 weeks. If our panelists will just stay on board for just 1 more minute, that would be fantastic. Thanks, everyone. Have a great week.